In one way, it's actually knitted together by the similarity that you are a different perspective as part of the leadership team. And that different perspective, I think, requires you to have greater objectivity and, in a way, independence from the day-to-day running of the organisation. So you need to understand the detail, but not dive into the detail. And that's quite a discipline that you need to grow.
Differences between the two roles of an executive and a non-exec, at its simplest, is the executive director is there to run the business on a day-by-day basis. The non-executive role primarily is to help and support and at times constructively challenge what the executives are actually doing. And to perhaps to step back and look medium to long term as to where the business is going, and is the work of the executive team actually achieving step by step that goal, that medium to long term goal. Because if it isn't, then you're going to have some kind of mid-term correction, and that's when the non-exec can advise the executive team as to perhaps the changes they need to make. Now, this can lead to the odd robust debate. Well, so be it. That's how it should be. But at the end of the day, there has to be an agreement as to where the company's going, how it's going to get there.
I think there's also something about being really comfortable with challenging in a constructive way as opposed to a destructive way. Identifying what the positives are and building on them, but actually when things aren't right, making sure that you voice your concerns.
Of course, the other thing that the non-exec has is a legal obligation to apply corporate governance oversight to the way the company is run. Now, I've had experience in the past, and I won't mention the company, but it's not the probation service, where a non-executive director at a board meeting actually said, well, I don't do finance, so this part of the conversation doesn't affect me. And I had to point out that the law actually says you do finance as a non-executive director, because one of your responsibilities as a non-exec is to ensure the viability of the organisation and to ensure that it does not trade whilst insolvent. Because if you do allow it to do that, then you can be prosecuted. So be aware that as a non-executive director, it is not simply a means of earning an income into your retirement. You do accept significant responsibilities.